Good night, fellow punters. The clock on the wall says 10 to 10 on Friday night. Back with the few for tomorrow. Just touch and go whether I was able to do a video tonight. The mind is it's not in a great place the last couple of nights. It reacted something a couple of nights ago that normally I shouldn't, or I wouldn't have years ago until I got sick. But when you have an illness that is in the mind, things can go your way sometimes and things can go against you. Typical to the way I picked the horses today. I thought I was doing the right thing by picking the ones with the best form as regards the ratings, with £7 in hand and £8 in hand and that, and then you leave it up to the jockeys. I thought it was the jockey that won the first race today. He on Artisan Dancer. Loughnane came 4 wide, and the other jockey cut the corner. I can't even remember who it was, and I should. And Jason Hart, wasn't it? Cut the corner, and he got the first run on him, and he was 6 lengths behind, and he cut it down to 2. But if he had waited and came up alongside him, I think we might have won it. And similar to Buick winning the race, I thought his jockey had won it. And I was saying yesterday, even though he was £8 wrong, Buick was the difference probably, but the other one was closing at the finish. But probably needs a step up and trip 6.5 for it, I would say, be ideal for Starlust. And then we had next week, and the horse must have thought the race was next week, because he didn't consent to move out of the stall at all. Bloody itchy eye as well. If it isn't one thing, it's another. Anyway, I get this done as fast as possible. I didn't get onto the comments either today. I tried a couple of times, but I had an itchy eye and my mind was absolutely wandering all day. Didn't get great sleep last night or nothing, and I slept a good bit of the day today for 20 minutes at a time and wake up and 20 minutes again, and I don't know. Where are we here? We'll go on to the big race first. It's the Betfair Hurl. I think it's 24 in it. The favourite is first time starter for Willie Mullins, a French import, in the colours of the double green. Has run for 238 days. It's hard to evaluate like where you stand when you haven't seen it. I looked at the video of the run, all right, but the typical, win and run. But he lost a race too before that, didn't he? He got pulled up. But to the handicap hurl, it looked nothing out special to me. But then I don't know. But I can't go tipping him up. What I am tipping up each way is the ground is going to be hock deep, I would imagine. We'll just look at the stats for a minute. 2 7-year-olds won it the last 2 years, and before that it was all a 5 and 6-year-old going back to 2004. Favourites, I don't think the favourite has it once in a long time. Not a great race for favourites. I backed the horse yesterday that I'm tipping up, but he's cut in price a bit. Is Spirit Daunou. It's lightly raced. It was 14s yesterday. It's into 8 to 1. But he lost his first race in a novice hurl. And then he went 1, 2, 3, 4. He has 5 out of 6 ones since then. The only horse or the race he lost was on good ground to Blue King Daru in last October, which was his first run of the year. But it just shows you that good ground mightn't have suited to him. But the last day of 129, and he's gone up £10, isn't it? He's gone up to 139. but Caelan Quinn, a good servant, takes off 3, so that's only up 7. This is him the last day winning the...
Booksy Bear is still right there with that red cap over towards the left-hand side, Punta del Este. Then Mr. Freedom has always been covered up just in behind the principals. And racing now down towards 2 out, and quite a few of the squeaks. Spirit Daunou, though, has moved through now to lead from Booksy Bear and Punta del Este. Mr. Freedom had encouraged along 4th. Jupiter de Gite has lost ground. Arcube is under pressure. It's to double on the car for Gary Moore. Spirit Daunou beating Booksy Bear. Back in 3rd, Punta del Este clear from There Is No Doubt. Then came Arcube and Jupiter de Gite.
It's a quick fire double for Gary Moore. This time Niall Houlihan in the saddle, riding Spirit Daunou, and ultimately it was pretty comfortable, Steve.
One cozy of all the ground, I find. Well, you have to, if you like heavy ground, you have to go on heavy, because if a horse doesn't go on heavy ground, they pull themselves up because they can't. So it's important that they're able to go on heavy ground. The £10 up is really 7 with Caelan Quinn taking off 3, and it's a 5-year-old. The other one for that I would throw a few pound on. I always throw it back 2 in a big race like that. They're paying 6 places. Is Altobelli, Harry Fry and Johnny Burke. This was behind Lucia. Now, Lucia, we backed Lucia in that race the last day. It was 12-1 when I tipped it up, and it won at 9-2. There was considerable money for it all through the day. But on the previous run, when it was soft ground in Ascot, and that was the first run of the season, the 4th of November, they weren't too busy on it, and it showed with its knee action and that it likes good cut on the ground. And it won, so second that to close, but they weren't too busy on it. But it's hard to know. Well, the two of them are 8-1, I think, now, are they? 7-1 and, 2 8-1s. But Spirit Daunou would be the main pick, and the other one would be the second pick. With the ground heavy as it is, I'm going to go on Protektorat tomorrow against Shishkin. Protektorat will go out in front and like that ground. Could be hard fought. You don't know what. Like, how can you go back on a horse with R and U in front of it? So I'm going to take a chance and go on Protektorat in that race. In the Wolverhampton, in the 8 o'clock tomorrow night, we have a bus horse running, Liseo. Won for us the last time in Kempton. But it's only a 5-year-old. It's not that heavily ran, but the yard is going well, and it relishes the 2 times that is, or the twice, whichever you prefer, that it has ran at 1.5 miles. It has ran its best races. When it was 4th in that Class 2 race to Max Mayhem, and then it was sort of learning how to run, I thought, the last year. That's it, coming with the red hat. Gets into a bit of bother and lugs it, his head one side.
Dembe's got an awful lot to do. Let Her Loose has dropped away tamely now, and Just the Man plugs on. Back with the leaders though, Ocean Heights into the straight, chased now by God of Thunder and Liseo, who's coming with a promising run. Short of room though, Liseo, at a vital...
The stall's first home. It'll be interesting to watch that head on and see whether a horse who headed a wide open market earlier on did get a little bit of a tricky passage through. Well, it didn't matter.
Have enough said. It's only up a couple of pounds. It's a class lower, carrying a top weight. He might be able to do that tomorrow night. Let's check the price. $5-1, $4-1. You can only back that each way if you wanted. But Charlie's Choice was impressive enough the last year. Got a good run, but that was in, that was in Wolverhampton. Northern Kimpton. Hard to win 3 in a row. We'll try and block it. In Naas tomorrow, there's an interesting opportunity handicap hurdle there tomorrow, and I was looking. No favourite has won this in the last 3, 5, 7 years. Favourite is back from fences. He's a stone lower, all right, but I think Jack Gilligan on Star Official, he's 13-2. It could be an each way bet in that race. He had a couple of good runs there, and he won on soft ground and heavy ground. That was a good run on heavy ground behind Calanisi Dove in Clonmel, even though he was well beaten. But it's interesting, it will be, to see the top weight where the handbrake is positioned. Champion Green or for P. Roach. There must be money for it. He won with Maiden O'Brien or Joseph O'Brien. Fell 13th and 10th, but 10th the last day didn't tell the whole story. At 40-1, there's a race in him. Whether it's tomorrow or not is another story. There must be money for him. 4-1, 11-4. I put a few pounds on Star Official. I went against the favourite. If it's placed, I'll be happy. Early in the morning tomorrow, for anyone that's up early, there's a couple of nice races at Jebel Ali. I see Jim Crowley is flying in from today. He had a winner. No, he was placed, but he's back. He's riding that Kusam, but and it's raced at 160. But it's an 8-year-old, but did win this time 2 years, wasn't it? In Jebel Ali. It was well bet the last year ago in March. He hasn't run for nearly a year. But Colour Up is a 10-1 shot. There's no prices up that I can show, but Colour Up is a 10-1 shot. I thought it might be an each way bet. We won on it 3 runs back in Medan at 6 furlongs, and it was on the dirt. Couple of good races. It ran in a Group 3 since. This is back to listed company. There's a horse we've seen running on the turf a couple of times lately. Is that Pontus, but it was only run twice on the Goo, the Jebel Ali Goo. It was behind Star of Mystery, and it beat a good field before that. But different gravy here when you're on this stuff with a hill finish. I thought maybe a 10-1 that Colour Up, Pat Dobbs. It's 1-for-1 at the track, or 2-for-2, I think. 1-for-1 at the track. For anyone that might want an early morning bet. In Naas tomorrow, the Opera Hat is on. Mascada, it'd want to be winning that race tomorrow. It is an entry for the Queen Elizabeth, the champion, or the Gold Cup. The 2-mile race. Got my mind is, but it's rated 151 with Allegory Devassi. Allegory Devassi trounced before, but it's getting £8, and it's to the handicap to be level weights. Riviere de Tel is rated 149, and it's given £6 instead of getting 2. So both of them are £8 wrong at the ratings. As I said, if Mascada is going to take up the 2-mile Champion Chase, I said it right this time, Champion Chase, you want to be winning that tomorrow, but Allegory is, you know what sort of a horse will turn up. Interesting race. We have a horse that I tipped the other day, running the first race, but it was pulled out on account of the heavy ground, and if this is heavy ground tomorrow, how will it run? It opened up 11 to 10 earlier. It's gone into 4 to 6 now. That's Lark in the morning. This isn't a great field, even with heavy ground. It mightn't be enough to stop it. Although it isn't getting as much weight. So it's a 4-year-old only race. They mightn't run it tomorrow. And with heavy ground either. Anyway. I'm rambling on. Super Bowl weekend. 11:30 match on Sunday night. Bit of money for the Niners in the last couple of days. They're gone a bit. It was sort of a pick-em game at the start, but they're gone a couple of point favourites now at this stage. We will have a go at them. So bash the bookies over and out.